Good morning. I was giving the wide-eyed stare there, like, for a moment. Hold on, I get stuff in my eye. There we go. Got to see me without my glasses. So here I am. Oops, look at that. Bra strap. There was a time when ladies never showed their bra straps. And now you see girls walking around in, spaghetti strap camis with their bra straps. In fact, I was out last night for dinner and I actually had the same top on. Um, and I put it on again today because it's supposed to be like 70 degrees. You don't know what the temps are, but right now it's like 37 outside. Today it's supposed to be 71. So actually at the restaurant, it was really hot and I took my top off like this, not caring if anyone saw my bra straps. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I got a bra on. Yeah, I'm wearing a bra. What can I say? Just like a college girl. So, what's new? Well, yesterday was a stress day from hell. It really was. I was all stressed out. I haven't been sleeping well. I've had 2 days at work where I really ended up killing something there. I've really been getting up at like 3:30 in the morning. So, and I went into work both Monday and yesterday with that sort of attitude here. Just see, girls, I can adjust my hairline. But yeah, I went into work and I was just tired and I was all stressed out and I had people contacting me and panicking, and I get probably 3 dozen emails a day from various campaigns wanting money. And I finally just got to the point yesterday because everybody was in a panic due to this thing that the FBI director did yesterday, which I hope he does get fired over because he violated the Hatch Act. Uh, and it's like doom and gloom. So I just started shuffling things off the spam because I was tired of seeing it and telling some of my friends to just stop losing your shit every time there's something comes out and you start reacting to it poorly. And yeah, the election is stressing a lot of people out, especially if you happen to be like me and trans, and you're worrying about your future essentially. So when I was leaving work, I told somebody, I said, I'm just staying off the internet. I'm just gonna go home, watch Netflix, uh, just veg. Yeah, I just am not in the mood to deal with this crap. So, and that's exactly what I did. I came home. I did not completely veg. I watched an episode of Black Mirror. Actually, I ended up watching two yesterday, but the first one I watched is the one I want to recap today. I'll probably do that this afternoon. And it had an extremely profound effect upon me. So I went out to get dinner. Ended up getting like everything. I had pizza, I had dessert, but most of all, I had 4 glasses of wine, and I was not feeling any pain when I walked home. And needless to say, there wasn't a lot of writing done, which is to say, there wasn't any writing done last night. I just couldn't. I mean, I was tired. I was really not in the mood to do it. My brain was not functioning properly. And on top of that, I went to bed about midnight. It was just a little after midnight when I went to bed. And I slept until a quarter till 8 this morning. I mean, straight through. I take that back. I woke up, sorry about that. I woke up at one point when it was still kind of dark outside. And I was actually like, what day is today? If I got the alarm set on my phone, and then I was like, oh no, it's Saturday. And I went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, it was sunny. I mean, I could see there was light in my apartment. And when I powered up the computer, it said 7:46. So I was like, whoa, I actually slept nearly 8 hours straight. Truly. It was probably closer to 7.5 hours, but 7.5 hours of straight in uninterrupted sleep for me is like an impossibility. I just don't do that. So that gives you an idea of just how exhausted and stressed out I was yesterday when I go to bed and I don't wake up. I mean, I just like, I was out the whole night and wake up slightly disoriented. I was waking up too. What was waking up is my right calf was starting to cramp, and it was starting to cramp bad. It was one of those where I have actually rolled out of bed and curled up in a fetal position on the floor, almost screaming. And really, the only thing you can do is you have to flex your foot, like that, to stretch the muscle because it's trying to contract. Oh my God, it's painful. I usually get it in my left calf, and that's due to believe it or not, it's due to an old aerobics injury. I tore a calf muscle. I tore my calf muscle there when I was teaching aerobics back in the early 90s. And yes, I did teach aerobics at one point. Yes, I did. I was an aerobics instructor for probably about 9 months, maybe close to a year. Probably closer to a year, but yeah. I was an aerobics instructor. Go figure. But yeah, this was in the right calf. It was painful. I get those, and it's just like it is the most painful thing in the world to get. They are horrible. So today I have to go pick up medication. I have to go buy some makeup. I have to pick up some groceries. I don't think I'm going to drink 4 glasses of wine, but I probably will pick up a box of wine at some point. Today, I think I'm going to purchase Dragon software. I'll probably do that this afternoon and set about not only learning how to use it, but use it to actually write with today. I'm probably going to attempt to use it to write my recap of the Black Mirror episode I watched yesterday. Excuse me. And start getting adjusted to that. And then I need to start on the novel. I have to start working on the scene where the kids are at now in Paris. And of course, I was told that my French that I was using that was badly translated out of Google Translation meant something like had to do with eating lunch in the weather or something. And I was like, well, I don't speak French. I use whatever translation systems are available to me. I really should buy. There are supposedly some really good software packages for not too much. I mean, you're talking like maybe $100 that will do excellent translations for you that are actually written by people who do that sort of thing for a living, or they work with the people who actually write software, work with people who do that sort of stuff for a living. And I think you can get them for like around $100 or so. So I should actually look into buying that and integrating it because so far it's been between Ukrainian, Bulgarian, and French, German. I mean, I'm always slipping in Esperanto. Let's not forget Esperanto. I'm always slipping into the foreign languages. So it probably would not be a bad idea to invest, in something that's going to give me some more accurate translations. The only other choice would be to hire somebody to actually translate stuff. And as I told the person who was telling me about this yesterday, I said, well, I'm a writer. I don't have any money. Stephen King shit. He could just like, hey, dude, I need your help. He can call up like a university professor on the other side of the country and it's like, yeah, I'm Stephen King. I need some help with time travel. Can you do me a solid? Yeah, that's no problem. That guy will just drop whatever they're doing and help out. And apparently, that's what happened. He got a woman, I believe she was a physicist, who actually helped him with the time travel stuff in his JFK novel 11/23/63. But me, mm-mm. I gotta, I gotta wing it. I gotta, as I said, I gotta make shit up, because I'm, I'm your average writer, which means I'm poor. I have no money. Ah, Jesus. But I really want to start getting into Dragon, and I really want to start using it for the program, because I am finding now, the ability to run off like 1,000 words in just an hour is going to help my productivity a lot. And I also noticed something else when I was going through the novel yesterday, because I actually had a song that was sticking in my head, and I remembered, I used this in a scene or I thought of it in a scene in the novel. And I started checking through the novel, and I realized there's a ton of this novel I have not plotted out yet. I'm actually coming up on the parts where, I'm gonna need to do some plotting here real soon. So I think I'm gonna have to spend a few hours here and there figuring out the plot for this novel. I mean, I know what it is. I know where stuff is supposed to go, but I need to work it out. Sorry. I need to work it out in far more detail. And this is the first novel that I've actually worked on where, yeah, I knew the beginning and I knew the end. But usually I also knew the in between as well. And I don't have the in between worked out. I need to get to that. So, maybe that's like the project this week is take an hour or so every day when I can and just, start plotting and get it done so that I don't have to sit here and panic when I reach the end of the usable chapters and go, what am I going to do next? Because I can assure you it'll turn into a disaster. When you're working with something this big, I'm already past 50,000 words and I've written 425,000. So I'm up to, actually, in the three novels, I've written about 475,000 words. So by the time I get to 75, when I get to 75,000 words in this novel, that's a 500,000 words I've written in three books. And let's face it, you don't pants that shit. You don't. You try pantsing a 500,000 words, and you are going to have a stack of papers this high that is nothing but word salad. And there's going to be all sorts of plot holes and shit like that. And it's just like, do I really want to deal with this? No, I do not. So, yeah, I got to plot that out. I got to plot it out. My work is never done. This is the thing that really gets to me. My work is never done. I just. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Sorry. On. Now, I've had some comments. Water, because I'm getting a dry mouth. And unlike a ventriloquist, I can't speak while I'm drinking water. There's been a few questions raised about the fact that when Annie and Carrie were in Germany, it wasn't quite as obvious that they were checking in together. In fact, Annie had gotten there before Carrie and gotten up to her room and discovered that, they were going to be sharing the room together, which they did. And no one seemed to notice or care. Probably because the hotel they were staying in Berlin was a pretty big hotel. And The one in Amsterdam was a little smaller, but this is the most intimate hotel they've stayed in. So it's probably not going to be long before the other students on the floor um, begin to notice that they're going off to the same room. Although maybe not, because of the way the hotel is laid out, and you actually have hallways that can be closed off. And it said that they came off the stairs and they went through like a fire door, and then took a left down a hallway. So it's because it's an older hotel, you don't have that situation of the one long gigantic corridor that you find in most hotels with rooms off of them. This has several different corridors that you have to walk around to get to your room. So it's highly possible that no one will notice it. They might even think that they're sharing rooms across the hall from each other. But of course, the questions came up. Wow, these kids are getting older, and what about those hormones? Yeah, what about those hormones? Well, we know both the kids have them. Annie has already expressed some degree of sexual frustration. She did that in the B level novel around the time that Carrie was turning 13, and she expressed a bit of sexual frustration. She's starting to feel it. Annie is actually a bit more, I want to say she's a bit more comfortable with her sexuality than Carrie. And that's not unusual. I mean, it's already been stated that Annie's been around naked women, Oh, I've been with Mama to the spa. Okay, Annie, thanks. We know you've been off to the spa with Mama. You go shopping in Paris. You have Louis Vuitton handbag and luggage. So we know you've had a completely different upbringing than Carrie, who his upbringing has mainly been I'm going to my room. I'm going to my room and I'm going to listen to music and read. And that's basically been his upbringing. But Annie's a bit more comfortable with her sexuality. And we do know that she has, what's the word, explored. Both kids have admitted that they masturbate, so they're 13 years old. Annie's almost 14. She's such a grown woman. She's almost 14 now. She's only about a month away from her birthday. But this will actually be the novel. I'm sure some have suspected it, but this will actually be the novel where there will be some discussion on their sexuality. It can't be avoided. They're they're getting older. 14 years old for Annie. Carrie's going to be 13 and a half. And they spend a lot of time in close proximity to each other. A lot of time. They probably spend more time together than any other pair of students at school. Maybe not, but close. And they've already had one talk. They've actually had two. This three bindings thing is going to put a damper on anything they ever want to do. They have to. They have to guard themselves pretty bad, pretty much. But there will be some discussion later on in this novel. We're going to get into kind of talking about some of the stuff that they're starting to experience as they're going through puberty. Because this really isn't a book about let's learn magic and stuff like that. This is always about them. This is about them growing up as witches, and they're growing up as people as well. It's not just a case of, it's not just a case of there's some big bad out there trying to kill them to fulfill a prophecy. They're learning how to become adults. They're learning how to become witches. They're learning how to become adult witches. And they're dealing with the fact that they're really, really good at what they do. And other people are now wanting to sample a bit of that talent. We're seeing it. So don't be surprised or shocked at all when that pops up. When we have the situation of, ooh, look, they're talking about sex. It is going to happen, and I think there'll be some stuff that will probably surprise people, but maybe not. Maybe people by now have figured out that these kids are developing normally. That doesn't mean they're off having sex, okay? We don't know what they're doing. I'm the only one who knows what they're doing. So, but yes, and you're actually going to find out the scene after the current one I'm working on is going to explain away a lot of why they're actually in the same room together. I mean, we know why they're in the same room together because it wouldn't matter if you'd put them in separate rooms. They were going to end up in the same room together. Let's just put it that way. Carrie, you're in this room over here across, and Annie, you're in this room across the hall. Okay, yeah. One of them's moving as soon as everybody's gone. One of them's moving into the other room, and it's just going to be like, even if Deanna comes down and says, you can't stay in this room. What are you going to do? You're going to put a guard on their room, so you'd have to throw up one of those enchantments. And the fact was, they shared a room in Berlin, so the instructors are aware of I won't say shenanigans that are going on, because there aren't really any shenanigans going on, but they are aware of the situation. You can't keep these kids separated. They get to spend the night together before they go back home. It's happened 2 years in a row. You can imagine it's going to happen 3 years in a row. They'll probably be at the Sea Sprite by the end of this book. My kids, they're growing up. They're getting so big. They're 14 years old, which years? They're 14 years old, and they're already a hell of a lot more mature than, well, at least Carrie's parents. Annie's parents, they got their act together a little bit more, but Carrie's parents, Christ, they're just a mess. They are. Ah, man. That's why Carrie had that freak out moment. Because his parents are treating him like crap, and he can't take it. So that's basically my day. That's the things I've got going on right now, and that's the things I'm going to be working on. I have to go put in my time with the election tomorrow, phone banking on the weekends. And then next weekend is just like, it's a write-off. I've got 2 days this week that I'm in the headquarters doing phone banking, and then I'm working 2 double shifts. Next Saturday and Sunday, I'll be working on phone bank and maybe even helping run the front desk a little bit between noon and 6 on both Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. And then I told them that I would actually come over and I will work the 5 to 8 shift at the headquarters the night of the election. And then we just cross our fingers and hope for the best. And I know what 538.com says, so I've got my fingers crossed, but I don't feel the fear that I was feeling several months ago. I think it's going to be a much better resolution. It's going to be the resolution a lot of us are hoping for. At least I know what I'm hoping for. Who do I want to win this election? I wonder. Given who the hell I've been working for since like August. Yeah, I wonder who I want to win this election. August, September, October, and into November. And then I've already had a couple of friends tell me who are also working on the election that they doubt very much if they're going to be able to get into work the next day because, you know, when we get our win, I'm not going to say if, but when we get our win, there will probably be some heavy, bodacious partying well into the evening. And I do not know that I'm going to partake in that. Basically, because I don't want to be hungover. I don't want to be that hungover the next day. Um, but I have said I may just get so exuberant that I'm going to like find the cutest girl I can and go, "May I kiss you?" Because I need to do this. Please? I promise it won't be that bad. Please kiss this old lesbian and make her feel better. So make her feel happy. Yee. All right, so I'm gonna get going. 26 minutes coming up here. Look at that, it's counting down right now. I'm looking at the clock, and here we go. And take care.